On the topic of sexism, Freya, I'd like to put you on the spot a bit at the moment.
Are you calling me a sexist?
I would include you. Well, no. Well, we'll see. I want to ask you a few questions. Right? You've been described as the voice of Gen Z women, so this will be very interesting to get your opinion on these questions. So I'm going to read them out to you. So, Tanya, I already know what you think because we're working on this together. So, is it closer to sexist towards men or women to believe the following things? 1. Women have a superior moral sensibility.
Sexist toward men, I would say.
Okay. Women have a quality of purity few men possess.
Sexist toward men.
Women have a more refined sense of culture and taste.
Sexist toward men.
Okay, full house, sexist towards men. Next set of questions. We're almost done. Do you think it would be a good or bad thing if men mostly agreed with the sentiment of the following statements? A good woman should be set on a pedestal.
Good.
Okay. Women should be cherished and protected by men.
Good.
Men should sacrifice to provide for women.
Good.
In a disaster, women need to be rescued first.
Good.
Every man ought to have a woman he adores.
Good.
Men are complete without women. Or men are incomplete without women.
Yeah, good.
Despite accomplishment, men are incomplete without women. So it's the same.
Yeah, good.
And people are often happy without romance.
Bad.
Okay. You are a massive benevolent
Fascist.
sexist. Those are the items on the benevolent sexism scale. And I polled all my followers on this, and they, like you, believed that the statements were either sexist to men or a good thing, right? So it kind of begs this question of, what is this scale measuring? So this is an idea that Tanya and I and some other colleagues are working on that we call the mismeasurement of men. Now, that title is strategic because there was a famous book called The Mismeasure of Men by Stephen Jay Gould, who was very critical of evolutionary psychology and evolutionary approaches to human behavior. And we think it's the precise opposite that's happening in scale development in psychology now, that a lack of insight into evolutionary psychology and just science in general is creating these crazy problematic scales. So you've got scales that are measuring toxic masculinity, benevolent sexism, and male sexual entitlement that are actually problematic in so many ways. But one of the ways is they're measuring awareness of facts about the world. So one of the items is women are often attracted to muscularity and dominance. And that's taken as evidence of toxic masculinity. And there's no attitude added on to that inference. It's just, do you know that that's sometimes the case? And it is sometimes the case. These scales, they're like what I call the Kathy Newman of scales. They require an extra inference about the implication of agreeing with the statement. So you believe that women deserve to be protected. Oh, so what you're really saying is they should have their autonomy limited to keep them safe for their own good. And it's like, that's not measured. So it's a total mismeasurement of men. And it also pathologizes women's own preferences. So women have strong preferences for protection and provisioning, and men care about being seen as attractive to women. So they're going to prioritize that over being seen as sexist. So it's a huge problem we see. But yeah, sorry to tell you if you're a man.
So is that the same as internalized misogyny? Same concept?
Not quite the same. So benevolent sexism is one end of the scale of what's called ambivalent sexism. On one end of the scale, they have hostile sexism, which is like direct antipathy towards women, to be like, oh, women are trash, basically, like really direct and obvious. Whereas benevolent sexism is this more subtle, putting kind of infantilizing of women, and which I believe could be a real concept. But when I looked under the hood at these items that were used to measure it, I couldn't believe it. I just thought that they're absurd.
Well, that reminds me of the New Statesman piece, because the New Statesman piece basically concluded that liberal women are unhappy. And then everybody was basically, we spoke about this, they were saying that no one's spoken about what's going on with liberal women, this is new. Like the New Statesman are the first to have the balls to say it.
Freya's fucking
banging her head.
No, but the interesting thing is that I sort of get viewed with the internal misogyny thing, because I will say the same thing, which is liberal women are unhappy, but I'll also say it's because they have these unmet needs, it's because they want to belong, and it's like a compassionate worldview that I think women want to be protected. They want to feel like they're safe and stable and all of these things. But then I get that's a sexist point of view. But the New Statesman can present it and say young women are unhappy and draw different conclusions. And then it's not a sexist.
I told you, your
thing to
female
say.
privilege has been revoked.
Yeah,
You don't have the female privilege that you once thought you did.
because I'm white or
Because
conservative.
because you're white,
You-
because you're
yeah.
right of centre.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I then don't get treated as a woman at all.
No, you're an honorary
Yeah.
man. Congratulations, it's 3 on 1.
So in the literature, there's this kind of confusion about, women are perplexingly attracted to benevolent sexism, and this is like a problem. It's an inconvenient finding. But when you look at the way the items are written, it's needless, because I think women are attracted to men who believe women should be protected. But I don't think they're attracted to men who would add on the extra inference and would say, because women need to be protected, they need to have their rights
autonomy
limited for their
should
own
be-
good. So if you had the item written in a proper way, and the scale designed in a proper way, you would actually have no problematic attraction to benevolent sexism.
Do you remember that video of the 2 travelers in Thailand, and a guy pulls out a knife? It's CCTV footage.
I think I have seen it, yeah.
Yeah, it went super viral, and all of the replies and all of the quote tweets of it were, "Girl, he's trash." So this guy pulls out a knife and he's trying to steal the woman's bag, and she fights him off, and the guy hides behind a fucking pillar. The dude hides behind a pillar. So there's 2 things that are sort of, icky, right? And we all have this sense that you should protect. Dude, what was that fucking thing that I said? I put this in the group chat 6 months ago, and I fucking called it, and I was right about the fact that women would be less, there would be more. Oh, here it is. Look at this.
Oh, no.
So that guy's got a knife, and
Oh my god.
Homeboy hides. Homeboy hides behind the pillar while she is fighting him. And there's another dude that just comes over and maybe he's with the guy. And then this guy with the fucking...
benevolently sexist man
Yes.
Yeah, look.
comes over and thinks the woman cannot defend herself. And what a sexist son of a bitch.
I know, what a pig.
Yeah.
What an absolute pig. Is it the dude on the bike? I think it's a...
He comes in with a helmet. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Dude, a helmet to the head.
Yeah.
Commute to help.
Yeah. So almost everybody was
Yeah.
universal in this. That guy that's hiding behind the pillar is...
Yeah.
What are you doing, dude? Come on. Like, it's a knife and fucking scary or whatever, but like, do something.
Women's preference for protection is seriously strong. So I ran a poll asking which would have a stronger effect.
This was my idea. Don't fucking say I would run a poll. This is my idea, dude.
Okay. And I
Jesus
was even
fuck.
surprised by the results. Women said it would have a stronger effect on their attractiveness to a man if they found out he was unwilling to protect them than it would be if he cheated on her in a one-night stand.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
was
and I-
really strong.
I kind of wonder if like maybe that's one factor in like why women aren't interested in men nowadays is like men don't get to display those abilities.
Exactly right.
Like
Yeah.
if
No
we're
one's
not
coming back from war.
Yeah, if we're not seeing men defending our groups or hunting, like you don't get to see the value of male formidability
Yeah.
or the display of it. What I'm starting to wonder is like if women even realize how much stronger men are. When I ask my students, like I present the sex difference in upper body strength, and they're surprised, and I'm like, what?
Yeah. There's this viral trend on TikTok apparently now where it's like asking couples to ask the guy to go into the challenge of putting her in handcuffs in 30 seconds. And they're like, it's the greatest foreplay ever. It's like women get so
Safe-
turned on
yeah,
by it. It's like,
safe
wow,
restriction.
realizing the strength difference is crazy.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing that Andrew Thomas was talking about. Does Andrew do Krav Maga or some shit? He does some
Wouldn't
kind of
surprise me, yeah.
some martial artsy thing, right? And he's saying that the ability to turn on and turn off aggression is really rare. Like most guys, the aggression sort of bleeds out in the same way as your level of obsession and how much you pay attention to patterns is great when you're trying to write a new piece, but is not so great when you're dealing with your intimate relationship or whatever. Guys that are aggressive are good. If homeboy comes along with the knife, forget running away. He's licking his lips. The guy's like, oh, waiting my entire life for this. Just pulls out an armory of things to kill him with. You're like, okay, it's like everyone's like Tim Kennedy. But very few men have learned to turn that off. And I think what's got crossed over a little bit here is that women love the idea of a man who is able to be aggressive, but never to them. And unfortunately, the guys, I mean, how many MMA fighters have had like awful domestic abuse situations that you've selected for a guy he is going to really, really stand up for me. Well, yeah, but maybe that's not to say that all fucking MMA fighters are going to be, home abusers, but this has happened a bunch of times. You go, it's hard to turn that aggression off. And the protector thing is great, but the just raw aggression thing carries on.
It's a trade-off women have to make, and it's predictable the ecologies in which they'll actually select a really formidable mate. And it's predictable based on the individual differences in that woman's size. Smaller women in those dangerous ecologies tend to have a stronger preference for a really strong, aggressive.
What would a dangerous ecology in the modern world be like?
So, I mean, there's rough areas I used to live in Birmingham. There's rough areas of it.
It's as rough as it gets.
Yeah, right.
A quick aside, look, sleep matters, but let's be real, most nights you're probably not getting the sort of sleep that's actually restorative. 8 Sleep's Pod 5 fixes that. It's a smart cover that you throw over the top of your mattress that actively cools or heats each side of the bed up to 20 degrees. They've even added a temperature-regulating duvet and pillowcase, so you and your partner can sleep at your preferred temperatures, covered head to toe, like some temperature-controlled mummy. Plus, it's got upgraded sensors that run health checks when you're asleep, tracking things like abnormal heartbeats and breathing issues and sudden HRV changes. There's a built-in speaker for white noise. The autopilot feature learns your sleep patterns, makes real-time adjustments to improve your sleep. It even detects when you're snoring and lifts your head a few inches to help you breathe better. That is why 8 Sleep is clinically proven to add up to an hour of quality sleep per night. And best of all, they have a 30-day sleep trial, so you can buy it and sleep on it for 29 nights. And if you don't like it, they will just give you your money back. Plus, they ship internationally. Right now, you can get up to $350 off the Pod 5 by going to the link in the description below or heading to 8sleep.com/modernwisdom and using the code modernwisdom at checkout. That's eightsleep.com/modernwisdom and modernwisdom at checkout. Congratulations, you made it to the end of a clip, and the full-length episode is available right here. Go on.